Evening, folks. Chris Bowen here with another Idiot with a Camera production. The idiot forgot to take his camera with him yesterday, so nothing was recorded. And the idiot was an idiot today. And a busy idiot at that, so I didn't really have time to film anything. If I can track down some paper later and a pen, I shall do my best to draw it. Should be interesting, because I can't draw for shit. I'm absolutely awful. Now, before I left, my dad gave me a box of these 50 little cigarillos as a farewell gift. People were joking back home, saying, like that scene out of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, if people wanted to track me down, they'd just find the butts and start dragging on them. So, I haven't smoked many. I'm saving them, for occasions and, for when I need one. And, well, today I just really want one, Been one of them days. So, if I can track down some paper, I shall do my best to draw what happened. Now, the kind of drawings I make would make the mother of a 4-year-old proud, and she'd hang it on the fridge for a couple of weeks. That's kind of my level of drawing. Well, I'm worse than a 4-year-old. I mean, I can barely do stick figures right, so we'll see how this goes. As promised, the most creative and artistic thing I've ever done in my entire life, since about the age of 4. I've drawn my couple of days. 'Cause I was too busy. I had my hands full. I couldn't record anything. So, here we go. First day, so that was Wednesday. Woke up, got out of bed, showered, brushed my teeth. It was 5:30. All dazed and confused. The boss said, "Are you seriously making your breakfast now? 'Cause we're leaving in a minute." And I thought I was up early enough, but apparently not. So, great start to the day. Then, at about 6:45-ish, we drove 20 miles down to the backyards across some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen. Out in the middle of nowhere, Queensland. Some Crocodile Dundee land there. Then, we got on the motorbikes. And I'll be honest with you, I absolutely suck at riding a dirt bike. I'm constantly falling off. I've given myself a second kneecap on my left leg, and I got a hole in my right leg the other day when I ran myself over with a quad bike. So, getting into position to round up some cows. Now, this day was kind of boring, but it had its moments of excitement. So, it was boring for us because the helicopter was doing most of the work. And the helicopter was doing all these crazy maneuvers, going in and out of trees and rounding them up and flying low and shooting smoke and everything. Well, it was amazing. So, we rounded up all the cows from 3 paddocks, and we were just sitting around on our bikes for about an hour, just sitting in the shade, doing whatever. Rounded up all the cows and started moving them down a laneway, but one of the bulls, he got loose, and he smashed through a barbed wire fence, just ploughed straight into it, jumped it, wrecked it. That's my boss. Yep. And there was no stopping that bull. He said, move. But we got him back in. No dramas. Just a busted fence. Now, the boss sent Eunice and I out to the corner of the paddock to round up any strays that might have been left behind. So we headed out and we headed back up, and we saw a bunch of cows up there, and I thought that the boss was with the cows that he just sent away up the laneway, but no, the boss was over here without any cows because he'd sent them all away. So when me and Eunice turn up to the cows and the cows start moving, I thought the boss was moving the cows, so I just tagged along behind, turned up, the boss was getting ready to shut the gate, and I got yelled at because I didn't tell him there were cows on the way. But yeah, I didn't know. So next time I'm just going to ask. Anyway, we sent the cows to the yards to be processed, and we zipped off to another paddock where Mark and Eunice, they both went down in the marsh. Splat. They just went down. And Ash in the back and me there just sat back laughing. That was funny. Mark went down real hard, but it was a soft landing because he was in a marsh, and Eunice just followed him. So we just sat around waiting for a couple hours whilst the helicopter rounded up the cows. And then after that, we moved the cows off, but one of the cows got loose. So Eunice was getting him real close, trying to get it to move this way and that way, not realising that you're just stressing the cow out and you're making it go all over the place. I can't ride a dirt bike to save my life, so I was way back in the back, barely able to keep up. The helicopter had to help us out, dumped smoke on it. So we got to the yards, but there was one bull that just refused to go in, and he was charging us. He was running around in circles. Eventually Janine told Ash, Eunice and I to just stay back and let Mark and Rob deal with it because they know what they're doing. So eventually, after about 5 minutes, they got that bull in. And then we ended the day with a pot of billy tea. And then we went home, tired and exhausted. Which leads me to day 2. Today, Thursday. Woke up at 5 a.m, which I thought was good because it would give me time for breakfast. But nope, we're out the door real quick, which was bad because I barely got time to eat breakfast and drink tea. We were out the door quicker than you can say, oh wait, I'm not ready. And then I spent most of the day trying to get cows from one yard into another for processing. Some of the cows were stubborn. At some point today, a mob of cows just charged through a gate and back into a different yard. That was interesting. I think that might be the best bit of cowboying I ever did. I stepped right in the middle of that stampede and just stopped half of them from going out. Better than nothing. And we were doing that for a couple hours. Just all morning, just processing cows. Once we processed enough, it was time to start branding. They weren't very happy. And the guys doing it, yeah, it's just part of the job, isn't it? We had to cut the testicles out, we had to chop the horns off the heads, which, if you've ever seen Kill Bill, when a calf's got its horns cut out of its head, And it looks like the end of Kill Bill. Blood squirting everywhere. It's not nice, but it's for their own well-being. Horns create injuries for the people that work with them and for other cows when they're in the transporting them. We got to chop their balls off because we can't have them breeding with their brothers and sisters. Otherwise, you'll end up with a cow with I don't know, udders on its back or 4 clefts in its foot or, I don't know, a second tail or something like that. Then for lunch, another pot of billy tea. It's quite nice. I mean, it's not Yorkshire tea and milk, no sugar. You know, it's not like it is in England, but it is nice. After you've been branding, after you've been processing, just sit down, have a cup of tea over a campfire. It's nice. And then for the rest of the afternoon, moving cows and branding cows. So, come on, move on. No. Please? Okay. Tss, ow. That's how it usually goes. And then towards the end of the day, started loading them up into lorries and then came home for more tea. So, that's been my busy couple of days. Been some of the hardest graft I've ever done. Yeah. It's not easy. It's quite difficult. I always knew it was going to be difficult. I just didn't realise it would be this difficult. But, yarding up, I do like yarding up. I like being a draftsman. I think it's fun getting in there and yarring them on and go on, move up, yeah. So, you know, some good work experience. If I keep this up, if I get good at it, if I ever end up back in England, I might be able to get a job working in the agricultural sector back in the UK. Who knows? I might be in Clarkson Farm Season 8 or something. That'd be something. Yeah. That's that. So I'll talk to you later. Peace out. God bless.